views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday to you on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day of celebration. We are doing an extended version of community conversations. So our first part this morning, we are speaking with some of the let me back up. Today is also the Founders Day for the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay, I'm so sorry. My brain is running fast this morning. So good morning to you ladies. So we have several members here and we have more that will be joining us in just a little bit. But before we get started with their Founders Day and sorority information, we're going to talk a little bit about the MLK Day Parade and other celebration events that are going on today. So right now in the studio we have Mrs. Ashley Wilson.
Hello, good morning everyone.
All right, Ms. or Mrs. April?
Mrs.
Okay, and Ms. Maya Reed.
Hello.
And I'm sorry,
Elisa.
Good morning. Alrighty, so let's get started talking about what is happening today in the city of Jonesboro concerning MLK.
Okay, so today is our main day celebration. Of course, we started yesterday with our youth celebration, and it was phenomenal. Anyone that missed it, you missed a great show. But today we're going to start with our parade this morning. Some people are probably already there gathering because we're going to have some light refreshments. And at the Student Union in Centennial Hall, we have some light refreshments. We also have, which is really great, this is a consecutive year that we've had the Salvation Army. They're going to be out there with a truck and they're going to have hot chocolate on the lawn. So they're going to be out there. Everyone that's been involved said, hey, we don't care about the weather. This is a big day. We're still going to be there. So we're really, truly grateful for that. So we're going to have our parade. It's going to start about 10 a.m. And we're going to start lining up between 9:30 and 9:45, our usual. And we just want everyone to be patient with us this morning. If we line up a little later, it's strategic.
Okay.
And we will make sure that everyone stays warm. So that's why we have the Centennial Hall on the third floor of the Student Union. So after the parade, after we get done with the parade, we're going to have our program at the Fowler Center, and that's 201 Olympic Drive. We want to encourage everyone to come out on your lunch break today. We promise we will this year. We will have a very short program.
Now why do you say that? Now, why do you say that?
Well, because some things happen each year, and we have to work. I'm with PR and marketing. I'm like, we got to work in our committee. We're like, we have to work, guys, because people are coming and they're on their lunch break and they're saying, hey, you know, I got 45 minutes, I have 1 hour, and here we are trolling in at an hour and a half, and, you know, our chair is like, you know, at this point we can't change anything because I'm in the panic in the background, like, this is going to be a nightmare for me, I got to clean it up. And he's like, we're going to take our time.
And I know the chair, so I know how he
we can't do anything, just calm down, we're going to take our time. Yes, sir. But this year, everything ran so smoothly yesterday with our youth program. Minister Patrick Bain, he put that program together really well. We all got in there and we did what we had to do. So we believe that today is going to be the same flow. We're going to get in there and we're going to do what we have to do and celebrate this day and get be done.
Alrighty, so I see that the lineup, the location has changed. I am being a part of, I say a part of because it started with my church years and years ago. And so, you know, the lineup used to be on the north side of town. So what made you all decide to change the location?
Okay, this location change was you all don't have a choice.
Okay.
And it was because there's a church now that's in the St. Bernard's Auditorium that's having service there, and so we had to branch out. And we're really grateful that ASU allowed us to come in because, in my opinion, even though not all of the students are back on campus, it's a different side of town because, of course, we did start out on the north side of town, and then we got on the west side of town, and now we're here closer to campus, and I think that'll bring out some more individuals who may not have been able to partake in the past years.
Well, we hope that this year is bigger and better as always. And why does it seem like it's always freezing cold? Like leading up to, the weather may be kind of nice, but always on today. But it's freezing cold, but the people still come out and show their support.
Yes, they do.
That just shows their dedication to this event, to this day, and what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood for. So let's get into talking about some of the speakers and other people that will be on program.
Okay, so we have a jam-packed program there. I'm just going to touch on it just a little bit.
Okay.
We have our speaker this year was our MC last year.
Okay.
Pastor Kirby Newsom from St. Paul AME. He is phenomenal. He is an awesome man of God, and we're really excited about having him. I'm excited to kind of see him do a little bit more than what he did last year, because he's very energetic. He's an intelligent man, and he is a native of Arkansas. So all the Arkansans, I guess I could say I'm part Arkansan and part Illinois. Yes. So I'm kind of supporting both fronts. But we are very excited. We have a young man who is going to be on our program this year, and his name, and I'm going to mess this up if y'all help me with this program.
Senator John Cooper?
No, not John Cooper. He's doing our national anthem. His name may not be on the program because we didn't get to add him.
Okay.
But he's going to lead us in our national anthem. We're looking forward to it. His father is he's the lead guitar at St. John.
Okay.
New St. John Ministry.
Will Glass.
Glass son, yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's going to do that, and we're happy about that. We also have we have a young man that's coming in. His name is Nathaniel Bean. He did our workshop for us.
Okay.
And I just want to kind of pinpoint some key things here, just in case some people don't get to read the 30 names that's on the back of the program. But we also are going to have, we're going to have some dignitaries, and we're going to have, Senator John Cooper is going to open us up this year again. And I think that's pretty much it. The choir, the band, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And I see that you also have Chancellor Kelly Danfus involved in the program this year. This is a great way for him to get to meet more of the community. He's been everywhere since he started in July, so I'm sure this will be a treat for him and the others that haven't had a chance to meet him or see him in action. He has been to the studio several times. He is a joy to talk with. He's so laid back and he's so relatable. Like you can just connect with him. So
but this will be my first time meeting him, so I'm excited as well.
He is a joy.
Yes.
I hope he has a dog. He has a dog called Maple Leaf because he's from Canada. So I hope you get to meet Maple and his wife, Beth.
Okay, well, Maple, get in the parade now so we can meet you.
All right, so what are some things that, as you were all putting this together, I know that you all have, with anything, production of this size, you face some challenges, but tell us some of the joys that you experienced putting this together.
Well, I guess one of the major things that we are always excited about is the amount of support and the amount of individuals who cannot wait to volunteer and help, because we need it. I mean, our committee is very small, in my opinion, for this level of an event that we try to put on, and all the support and the people that come and say, hey, what do you need? What can we do? And they jump on it, especially with our youth. We had like 70 plus youth this year, and we needed all hands on deck. And I'm so grateful to everyone that was that stepped in and say, hey, yes, we want to help. And it's not about us. It's not about our organization. It's not about who we are, what we represent. It's about this one body, this one unified purpose of spreading this message of love, social change, and educating our youth. So those are some pretty much always the highlight, because we are always looking for help. So I want to extend that. Just extend this. Y'all hear me here on KLEK this morning that we are open to volunteers. Always look for volunteers. And this upcoming year is going to be one of our most, it's going to be a transition for us, because in previous years we didn't have the opportunity with everyone's schedule to work throughout the year. And it's time.
Okay.
It's time. We've been going 16 years strong now, and it's time for us to work throughout the year, and not just have this weekend. So we're actually going to start taking in volunteers applications in February. Those will go out, and we'll try to get the word out so everyone that's interested in working on a more personal level, this is something that you would like to commit to help us. Bring your talents, bring your gifts. We're open to everything because we're trying to go in a different direction, and we're hoping that this is the first of many years that we start making some big impacts and changes in our community.
So with that being said, do you foresee you all doing more days of service that are centered around the message and theme of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of work to do in our own community as far as unifying people. It's like we have so many different organizations out there, and it's like, okay, we're going to collab for this one thing, we're going to collab for that, but we have to work every month, in my opinion, because our youth need to know their history. They need to know how important they are, and I don't mean just African American children. I mean all children need to realize and recognize that there is more out there in the world than just what they see on TV, and more than just what they see in their inner circle. So we want to broaden everyone's mindset and have everyone have an open heart to come together and do more, and just increase the strength and power of this color of love that we have been preaching, this national theme that we've been preaching, and so that's kind of where we're going. That's what we're hoping. That's the push.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. I wanted to also talk about the theme, the color of love. How did that come about, and what is the message behind that?
So each year we take on the national theme. So the national theme this year is the color of love, and our chair always picks our theme for us, and he told us, he said, this is the direction that we're going in. I think it was very powerful because of some of the things that's kind of been going on across the nation with the police brutality, and some of the racism, and even, and I'm gonna kind of go on a limb and say this with our president, and I'm not saying in a negative way, I'm saying the tone that surrounds some of the things that have occurred, and the energy that a lot of negative things have been brought based on the energy, and I think right now we have a shift in our nation and in our communities where it may been hidden before, because we're saying, oh, it's been 50 years since we come past, or 50 plus since we have overcome certain things such as slavery and racism, but there are still places that are segregated, and there are still laws on the book that need to come off, in my opinion. But with us, we're hoping that right now, with this push of what is, the color of love, that our message is, it's not about your color, it's about who you are. And yes, we want to embrace everyone's differences, but in embracing everyone's differences, we want everyone to know internally we're all the same. And that no matter what happens to me physically, if I get in a car accident, the same damage that can be done to someone who looks different than me or has a different tone, the same damage can happen to you. There's no difference. We all bleed the same. We all love the same. We all, our brains all work the same, in a sense. So for us, this color of love means, I see you. Yes, you are different from me, but guess what? We're all the same, because we all have the same premise. We're all working towards the same goal of living and loving and embracing one another. So
Right. And we all face some of the same challenges every day: work, school, family, marriage, whatever your issues are. We all face those things on a daily basis. So I hope that this will help to strengthen the love and unify people more than ever before. We saw a lot of people coming together when the different hurricanes hit the different regions. I would love to see that type of love and devotion and reaction all the time. We don't need to wait until tragedy happens before we start reaching out to our brothers and sisters, no matter if they're our next door neighbor or across the street or down the highway neighbor, across town neighbor. We need to start looking out for our neighbors. And I try to, I hate to say preach that, but push that. Here, we need to start looking out for each other. We need to start being neighbors again, and loving one another. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox because I can't. I'm going to leave it right there.
Yes. That's why it's important for us to educate our youth, because if that's the message that you are pushing as an adult, that's something that has to be imparted in our kids. And because they are very impressionable, and if we can start with them, of course we have to change within ourselves, but with our youth, they're so impressionable, and they're at a place where they are more open, and they have less, a lot of them have a less of a judgment or stereotypes that's been set in them, so they are in a better position, in my opinion, to help push this message.
Okay.
To push what you're talking about, as being there for your neighbor and just kind of serving, and having a heart of service.
Alrighty. So are any of you other ladies playing key roles in the events that's happening today?
We are all participating in the march today, so that'll be a pretty big event.
Okay, so you got your winter gear.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but don't let my modest, beautiful sorority show here downplay what they're doing this year. They helped us so graciously yesterday with the youth, and they're also going to help today. They served, they ushered, but and we've been doing this type of service for years. Yes, it's one of our impact days, which I will get on. But they've been really, really working, and very humble, coming in, breaking down stereotypes of what people may think about our organization. But they have worked really hard, and they came in with a service heart, looking glorious and beautiful as ever. But they worked very hard, and they're going to work today, and so we're really grateful for them. So
that is really wonderful. So I do want to mention another thing that's happening here in town is a pop-up warming center. Mm-hmm. So once the parade and activities are over, will you all go over by Parker Park just to see what's going on over there? Are you familiar with that event that's going on?
I believe I got an email about that from the Black Professional Network.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's happening today, and it starts about, I think the volunteers are going to show about 9, and the doors open at 10 at Parker Park Community Center. This is a pop-up warming center for those that may be homeless or don't have anywhere to go. Just need to get out of the cold, the elements, and so go to Parker Park, or just go over and fellowship, with your fellow neighbors again. See where you can volunteer. Maybe drop off some warm items such as blankets or coats or whatever else. But Chelsea Chapman and Dante Barker from the City of Jonesboro are spearheading this event. So you can go by Parker Park today. You can go by there by 9 o'clock. So go to the parade, then go to Parker Park after the festivities at the Fowler Center. So once again, before we wind up, give people the time and location of where the parade will start and end, and all the other details.
Okay, so the parade is going to start 119 Dean Street. That is in between the Student Union on the ASU campus and University Hall.
Okay.
One of the dorms there. And we're going to travel over to the Fowler Center, which is at 201 Olympic Drive. The parade is going to start around 10 a.m.
Okay.
And we will be at the Fowler Center ready to start at noon. So if you, like I said earlier, if you're on your lunch break, come on over.
Okay.
We're going to have you in and out, and enough time, in my opinion, to get you something to eat before you have to go back. I'm really confident in that. So if that doesn't happen, call KLEK and say, replay what Ashley said so we can hear. But I do believe that we'll have you in and out today. So, so 10 a.m. at the Student Union on Dean Street, 119 Dean Street, and then 201 Olympic Drive is the the program at 12 noon.
Okay. Now, usually every year you all get a high school band and dance team, so we're able to secure someone this year?
We usually have the MLK, Martin Luther King Junior Band. The high school there in Memphis, Tennessee is who usually usually comes out and celebrates with us.
Okay.
So we're going to see what the weather says with our band this year. So we're hoping that they'll be able to come out and support and participate again this year. I hear Memphis is certain parts is pretty bad with the weather, so we are hoping that we'll be able to have them this year again.
And if nothing else, we know that a lot of the fraternities guys, they like to, as they come up through the march, the ones that I have had a chance to witness, like when they're coming to the facility, they like to kind of show out a little bit. Maybe it helps them warm up, I don't know. They like to put on a little show, and it's fine. So I think that gives the kids something to see and keep them entertained while everything else is, coming together. So if nothing else, go out and see the people that are marching. If you don't feel like walking, you're not able to walk, go stand somewhere and show your support.
We do have the JETS bus system. We'll be there for individuals who are not able to walk. They are going to be out in front of the Student Union on Dean Street, and they'll be parked there at 9:30. So anyone who does need transportation, they will be there, and they will remain at the Fowler Center until the program is over and transport everyone back. So that's great. So we're appreciative to the JET bus system. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.